welcome to the Bluestone Villa. My name's Louisa. Today's video is a what I got for Christmas 2020 home edition. I wasn't actually going to film a video like this, but I actually got a number of items that were for our home or associated with our home that I thought you would really be interested in seeing. They're really great gift ideas for things going forwards in 2021, or even if you just fancy treating yourself. There's some kind of bigger brand items in here, and then also some really small independent businesses as well. And there is one item that actually wasn't a gift to me. It was a gift that I purchased for James, and I really wanted to include it because it's a really small vintage retailer that just does some really incredible quirky items. And if you're anything like me, I think you'll really like them. I will, of course, where possible, share what brand or business the item is from, and I'll also link their websites below if they have one. But I won't link directly to the items, just because obviously these are all gifts to me and I kind of feel a bit weird about searching up how much people have spent on me. So I'll kind of lead you into the right direction, and then you'll be able to do a quick search once you're there for the item itself if there is something that catches your eye. So I'm going to try and categorize all of the gifts that I received, and I'm going to touch on clothing first of all, which isn't always something you assimilate with the home, but I'm going to start with these pajamas that I'm wearing. So these are my New York brownstone Christmas pajamas from American Eagle Outfitters. I got these from my parents, and I actually saw these a month ago and really wanted them. I lived in New York for a year back in 2012, so it's very close to my heart and I've got some wonderful fond memories. So these were definitely the best gift I could receive this year. It's a brown print across kind of a cream pajama, and they're kind of brown print of kind of brownstones, the Chrysler Building, the Empire State Building, the Freedom Tower, little fire hydrants, dogs, Christmas trees. Yeah, so a very traditional kind of New York landscape, and then it's got kind of little pops of colour in the Christmas trees and also in kind of the multicolored Christmas lights across the brownstones. I was gifted these in kind of my regular kind of size category, but I would say that they're kind of come oversized. They're really soft, they're really comfy, and I love oversized pajamas, so that's perfect for me. Next item up is another clothing item, which you may first of all see and be like, how is this related to the house? But it's actually a really practical item, and I think you'll see why shortly. This was actually a gift from James as part of my gifts from him, and it is a Uniqlo body warmer gilet. So it's really kind of lightweight, but it's got that kind of heat tech stuff in it that's meant to be great. My sister and dad and James actually have a lot of the kind of ski stuff that they use for that as well. But yeah, I actually wanted one of these because we do spend a fair bit of time in the garden. It was really overgrown when we moved here 2 years ago, so we're kind of on a constant drive to kind of improve it as we go along, and this year will be no different. And yeah, I was doing some gardening recently and it was really cold, and all of my coats are like really hugely kind of like chunky, and where I was kind of bending my arms doing stuff and I had layers on, I felt like it was like cutting my circulation. And then on top of that, the rest of my coats are kind of really smarter coats that I wouldn't want to kind of garden in. So I was trying to think of ways that I could do that where I would feel comfortable and feel warm and not ruin my best stuff. And I think this is it. So it's a really practical item and something that I'm going to get a lot of use out of over the next kind of few months as we move from kind of across winter and then into spring. I've got some last bulbs that I need to plant up in the next few days. Don't tell James, because I was meant to do them a while ago. And I also have the second pruning of my wisteria, so I'm definitely going to be out there over the next week or so, and I think this is just going to be perfect. Next up, I'm going to touch on home fragrance. I absolutely adore home fragrance, particularly candles, and I really always want to create quite an evocative and atmospheric feeling within my homes, and I think scented candles or kind of home fragrance are really helpful with that. When we first moved into this house, there was a distinct unpleasant smell, particularly in our hallway. We still have remnants of it in the understairs cupboard because we've not actually done any work in there yet, but it was really unpleasant and just something I hated coming home to, something I hated getting up to in the morning. So there is kind of that thing about kind of how your home smells, isn't it? So I've got some lovely candles today that I'm going to share with you. So First of all, I got this pretty set from James's dad, and they are a set of Charles Farrer travel candle collection. It says 3 iconic British scents. I love the box that they come in, actually. It's really quite a Christmassy box, but also just really smart and would probably work any other time of year, but I assume this might be a specific Christmas set. Not only is the actual scent really important to me, but obviously the look for it as well, especially as I kind of explore more with interiors and kind of styling and furnishing this home. And so I really liked these because they are all kind of a really simple black or midnight blue. I can't quite tell in this lighting, but yeah, so they're really simple. They all look the same, and there is one called Winter's Tale, which has got kind of a bit of a scent of kind of cloves or cinnamon, but really refreshing as well. I think maybe it's like a pine scent also. We have Garden of Eden. That's a much lighter kind of refreshing scent. And then the final one is British Expedition. Interesting. That's kind of got hints of kind of a citrus tone to it, I feel like, as well. But yeah, they look really lovely. And I think where they're so dark, they'd look absolutely great in this living room, but also probably in our bedroom, which we do have a bedroom transformation tour coming up. And then the next candle I got actually was from my parents as one of their gifts. It's actually from a brand I've never heard of before. It's called Kintsugi. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. But this is the box. I actually, when I first opened it up, thought it was going to be like a face cream or an eye cream or something, but it's not. It's one of these candles, and instantly, as soon as I took it out, I knew what type of candle it was. So it has this little spout at the side. So it reminds me of the kind of neon candles that you can get that are like this, and it's beautiful. It's kind of white packaging. Again, really simplistic, little bit of gold. So again, really aesthetically pleasing for the home. And it says let the light in on the back, and then obviously the Kintsugi brand on the front. And this is actually a bath oil candle, so I assume that you light this whilst you're in the bath. I don't want to pull that off actually and break it. Yeah, I assume that you light this when you're in the bath, and then I assume that maybe you can then pour the oil once it's melted over your skin, perhaps, to kind of moisturize your skin. Don't know what it says on the back here. Oh, and the scent is called 777, and it says a powerful sacred number in numerology. 777 is associated with good luck and the fulfillment of dreams. This scent encourages a connection to the light within, so you can envisage and manifest a bright future. Well, I think that is definitely needed for me going forwards into 2021. And yeah, it's a soothing bath oil candle, so it's specially formulated with nourishing cocoa butter and calming essential oils. This deeply relaxing pouring candle is designed to soothe both body and mind. It softens and protects the skin, leaving a light fragrance. Light the candle to fill the room with warm notes of musk, vanilla and clementine before pouring a few drops of the melted oils into a hot bath. Okay, so you put it into the hot bath rather than onto the skin. The ideal end to a busy day. I don't know about you, but I think we all need this going into 2021. I think 2020 has been a bit of a traumatic year for all of us, and I think we've all got different reasons for that being the case. And I, for one, think that 777 sounds like just the antidote and something inspiring and mood lifting for me going forwards. So next up, I'm actually going to move on to lighting. So I actually received this light from James's sister, and I really love it. What fun. It's a really pretty light, and it will definitely go in this house somewhere really nicely. So it's pineapple, obviously, but obviously it's see-through kind of around here, and it's actually battery operated. So handy if you want to use it somewhere, obviously, that you don't have some kind of plug socket, which I think that's really helpful. I might style it up on my stairs, for example, which is good because then I don't need a wire for it. Yeah, it's really pretty. I'm going to try and turn the light on for you now. Probably a bit bright for this camera, but that's kind of what it looks like. And yeah, I think it's really lovely. She said she also has one, and she has it on her bar cart, which I think is another fab place to put something like that. But the gold, I think, would really work in a room like this room, where it's kind of the dark Hague blue, and then we also have the really dark green dining room. So I think, again, some place that would work really nicely. So yeah, I need to find a home for this, but I really love this. And this is from B&M, so from a store that's really accessible as well. Now I'm going to share the light that I actually bought for James. So I saw this is not something that James had asked for, But you know when you just see something and it's absolutely perfect, and I was really impressed with the small business that was selling this light. They do lots of different kind of vintage upcycled lamps, really quirky and eclectic, and if I could have bought more I would have done. They had kind of a watering can one and all sorts. They were absolutely brilliant, and I think the brand is called Whitechapels of Kent, I think, but I will link their website below. They're definitely somebody that I want to keep on our radar going forwards as we do more and more of the house. But this particular light was just perfect for James because he is really into kind of cars and things like Le Mans and stuff like that, and I saw this and I just thought this is absolutely ideal either for his office desk or his bedside table. So it's this lamp here, so it's like an old wooden toy racing car, so I just thought that was absolutely perfect. It's beautiful, the wood, and then you have the light bulb fitting up here. So it comes with a smoked, I think like a smoked glass bulb that sits within here. I'm not going to put it fully in, but you get the picture. So again, it does have that kind of industrial vibe to it a little bit as well with the kind of exposed light bulb, but I just thought this was absolutely perfect and something that he would really appreciate. It's something a bit different as well, really unique gift, and just, yeah, they had tons that were so different, including, as I said, the watering can, but they also were doing ones where they were kind of old cameras all stacked up with a lamp, all sorts. I will definitely be buying something else from them, I'm sure. On the light front as well, I got from James's mum these starburst lights. Now I've seen these a lot recently, and they can be really quite expensive. They're really popular right now. They tend to be advertised a lot for Christmas. I wonder whether actually I could get away with using these all year round. I'm thinking maybe if I open up the fireplace on the top floor main spare bedroom, which is a project for perhaps later this year, that they might look really nice across that. I've categorized a couple of these items as kind of like Christmas themed gifts. So the first is this funny little sign that my mum got me, and this is great because it says "Gone to get my Christmas tree," which is so me because I am an absolute Christmas tree snob, and for many years I would probably make my family's life a living hell, as I would, you know, be like, no, not that one, no, not that one. Yeah, I can't think of anything more me. So I'm gonna hang this up actually for the last few days before New Year's, and then I can't wait to get this back out again next year. It'll be great kind of hanging on like a door handle or something like that. This is from something called Retreat Home. It's not anything I've heard of before. I don't know whether it might be something that my mum found online or maybe even somewhere like HomeSense, but I'll link them below. But yeah, I thought this was brilliant. And yeah, all the Christmassy vibes. And then the next item is actually a homemade item. So my sister made me this gorgeous felt skiing mouse. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I absolutely love a felt mouse. You will have seen on my Christmas tree as part of my Christmas decor home tour that I have some mice hanging from there. I had a Halloween mouse that I purchased recently. I bought another Christmas mouse that's actually up on my mantelpiece at the moment. I've got a bit of a thing for them. I've got a garland with them on. Anyway, she made this. So apparently she bought the kit, I assume maybe from Etsy or something like that, because I have seen these kits before. But she bought the kit, but she said she only had the kit for the actual mouse itself. And like the clothing and the skis, she actually improvised herself and did herself. And that's just perfect because we love skiing. So yeah, I thought that was a really brilliant idea, and I'm just so impressed when she said she made that. I actually thought she was lying. Speaking of also kind of homemade gifts in a way, is a gift from my other sister that I got. She actually gave me as part of my Christmas gift this really lovely picture of, I forget what the ice rink is called in New York. I think is it like Warmer Ice Rink or something. and it's the one that's famous from kind of like Home Alone. Sorry, there's a little bit of reflection there, and it kind of looks like a watercolor photograph, and it's in this really lovely frame. Actually, it's not a frame I think I probably would have picked myself, but I actually really like it. And I just thought that was really thoughtful, again, because it's New York themed. But she told me actually that the picture is one I had taken myself, and she'd taken it off of my Facebook and used a particular app that I cannot for the life of me think what it was called, but I will link it below to do it. And she also printed a couple of other pictures as well, and some different sizings, and basically she said that therefore I had the choice if there was a different picture I wanted to include in it. And yeah, I just thought that was lovely and a really unique idea, and something that actually is quite easy to achieve and do for somebody else. So I thought that was really lovely. Next up is glassware. So we've got a couple of glassware items. So first of all, I got this little jug. Really simple, pretty little jug with kind of this ribbed effect around here from James's mum. This is really lovely, and she bought this from somewhere called Grand Illusions. I suppose you could use this as kind of a little milk jug when people came round, or I suppose you could use it as kind of a vase, which might be something that I typically do, because I like to use these as vases. Maybe it's meant to be a vase. It doesn't say, it just says mini something, and it's torn off, but yeah, perhaps it is meant to be a vase. That's how I probably would like to use it at some points as well. And then also from James's mum and James's stepdad, we got a set of wine glasses. We got some red wine glasses and some white wine glasses from Villeroy Bosch, which is something we've really needed. We've had James's old set for ages, which are just not really that classy, we'll say. So yeah, so we got the same style for both of these in red and white, and we've got 4 in each, and that's great because then we can add to these to make up 8, which I think is a really good number for kind of socialising and having people over, although what do we know in 2020, eh? But it's a style of glass we really like. We'd kind of said about them when we'd been to their house. I really love this kind of shape here to the glass. This is the white wine glass, and it's really lovely to have some proper glassware. I'll get the red wine one out as well, just so you can kind of see exactly what it looks like. But yeah, as you can see, it's the exact same style, but just obviously oversized, as kind of red wine glasses tend to be. I have to say, I really love an oversized red wine glass. I think they're brilliant. And now I'm going to move on to just a few miscellaneous home items that I'm not really sure how to categorise. But I got this from, I think from my mum. The reason I'm saying think is because we obviously opened a number of gifts, and this also looks like something that James's mum would buy me. But it's from something called London Ornaments, and it is a hair hook. This might be something I use up on my top floor bedroom as a hook for up there, but I absolutely love it. It's kind of a darker metal, like more like a pewter, I guess. And yeah, I think that would look really smart up on my top floor bedroom when I get around to doing that. And then a gift that I think you will all really appreciate and really like is something that, you know, when you don't realize you need something, and it's this. So it's from a company called Small Signatures. I assume that's the company anyway, and I can't show you in its full because it actually has our address on it, but they're note cards with our address on it, and they have got bluebells at the top of the card, and then the writing of our address is in blue as well. So it's very much kind of in keeping with the Bluestone Villa. So I don't know if you can see that there. These are absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, it's something I never would have thought of getting for myself or anybody else, and something that I didn't even realise I needed. I'm not particularly good at sending post. That's the only downfall with this, I suppose. But it makes me want to send post, and I think it would make such a beautiful gift for somebody that is moving into a new home, or you know, somebody that's really kind of house proud or kind of really enjoys writing letters or what have you. I just thought it was such a beautiful gift, and the flowers are gorgeous, and we have loads of wild bluebells here in our garden, so I just think it's really, really apt. It's absolutely perfection, and I can't wait to use them. And I feel like I want to reorder some as soon as I finish these, but also probably hold one back, so that if James and I were ever to move, that maybe we like write something and then pop it under the floorboards somewhere for somebody to find in, say, another 100 years. But yeah, I just thought that was a really unique gift. It comes in beautiful packaging as well, and I was just really, really surprised because it's something I never would have thought of and would never have anticipated receiving. And then the final item is something that I have been longing to give a shout out on either my Instagram or here for quite some time, because it's something I've absolutely adored getting for the last year, and I've now got another 6-month subscription. And it is a subscription to the Simple Things magazine. I don't know if you're familiar with this magazine at all. It's a very kind of cozy, homely magazine. It's kind of an independent magazine brand, and it is a delight to receive this in the post every month. They have some incredible recipes in here. It's all kind of really, really lovely, like simple interiors. It really promotes kind of wellness and positivity and simplicity, and it kind of allows you to stop for a moment with a cup of coffee and a cinnamon bun and just get very hygge. It's that kind of magazine, and yeah, I absolutely love receiving it. I actually keep every single one because the recipes and everything are so good, but also I just love the feeling it gives me. And in fact, you are currently stacked up upon a whole stack of these. And yeah, it's just really, really lovely. And there's also just like some nice little ideas to do with kids as well. Obviously I don't have kids at the moment, but there's lots of kind of things that you can do out in nature with the kids, or kind of little really lovely like DIY interior things, you know, DIY wreaths with dried flowers and stuff like that. So if that sounds a bit of you, I really do recommend purchasing this, particularly as a subscription, because I just really, really love receiving it every month. And it's been a moment of calm in 2020, definitely. And so that's it, guys. Well, I shouldn't really say that's it, because that's actually quite a lot. James and I were really overwhelmed with all of the lovely gifts that we got. And yeah, I'm just so excited to use some of these lovely things in my home, and looking forward to kind of enjoying them in 2021. My next video that's coming up is a renovation plans video, so I'll be chatting through exactly what we're planning to do for 2021 at this house. And kind of mapping out a bit of a timeline, giving you a bit of a brief look at what some of those projects look like before we get started on them. So yeah, just a really good idea of what you can expect in the coming year. So if you're not already subscribed, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and stick around and join us for some more changes in 2021.